Hi, this is Terry. Welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is going to be all around social media and what it is that I do, why I do it, and for those of you who are following me on all the channels and wondering how the hell I do it, I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But before I do, I just wanted to touch base and say today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday when this will be released, and we are doing the last minute prep to get Adam off to San Diego to move into a house to do his sophomore year online. And I'm in a little bit of a holding pattern, waiting to start stuff because we've just been kind of waiting for this period to end. And I'm going to be curious to see how the energy changes in our household as a result of his departure. What do you think, Ray?
It's definitely going to be a shift.
A positive one?
It's going to be a shift.
Ray's afraid of having too much attention placed on them. Speaking of attention, Ray's a little annoyed because I was a little delayed in getting started because I got a last minute delivery from my friend Amy, who decided to send me a little bouquet of love. So thank you, Amy Henley. I love it, and it's going to definitely brighten my office because even though I'm feeling good about Adam leaving, I know that next week is going to be hard and I'm going to be sad. And it's also the end of summer for us because with Adam going off to San Diego, Ray starts classes on Monday. Our summer is pretty much over. You know?
Yep.
So you at least got a great backpacking trip.
That was fantastic.
Yeah. So back to today's topic. So for any of you following me on social media, you are potentially following me and my multiple accounts on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. I think that's, Medium. I think that's about it.
YouTube.
Oh, now YouTube. And then I used to have the podcast is on indefinite hiatus. I'm going to give the YouTube channel a year, and then I'm going to see what I want to do with the Piloting Your Life podcast. And some of you may...
All of these links will be in the description.
They're always in the description. But some of you may be wondering why. Why am I on all of these channels? And part of the reason is to sell more books. Piloting Your Life. This beautiful book, available on Amazon at your local retailer. So one of them is to sell the book, Piloting Your Life. The other is to build community and engagement around midlife, around Piloting Your Life, to encourage women over the age of 40 to share wisdom, share ideas, support each other, and really make it so that we are all the pilots in our own lives and we are designing and living a life of our own creation. I want that for all women, but really definitely promoting it for women over the age of 40. And then, so that's, I have an Instagram account for that, and I have lots of Pinterest boards where I push a lot of stuff. I've got the Piloting Your Life website, which I've got resources on. Once again, all of the links will be in the description. And but it's pilotingyourlife.com, so it's pretty darn easy to go to. I've been trying to encourage people to go on there and see the resources, and I'm updating the resources. And I love getting suggestions for resources, but I just haven't been able to get the level of engagement that I was really hoping for. But I think it's just a matter of doing the work, staying in the process, continuing to put out content on a regular basis around this and encourage dialogue and communication. I think right now everybody is just really overwhelmed with sheltering in place, the economy, politics. If you have kids or if you've got aging parents or all of this all at the same time, I think it's overwhelming. So I'm cutting up people a lot of slack. But definitely trying to sell the book, build community. For my consulting work and my expert witness work, I publish on Twitter and LinkedIn. I do Medium posts, and the point of that is to be seen as a thought leader in IT, computer validation, computer software assurance within life sciences, and then on the expert witness side, be seen as an expert in system implementation, system selections, project management, so that I can do more expert witness work for failed software and technology implementations, because that's really where I'm trying to shift my business. And so I kind of think of it as, I'm in the middle and I've got these like flower petals of all these different things that I'm interested in promoting in terms of advocating for women, changing the world and making it a better place, getting more funding into the hands of primarily women founders, but other underestimated founders, whether, Black, Latinx, other BIPOC, LGBTQ plus. Basically it's just an alphabet soup. Basically not to cis-het white men, it's to the rest of us in society, which is where my angel investing comes into play, the women's advocacy, and trying to get more women to be investors, to invest in things that benefit, us women in the world. And so I do a lot on LinkedIn, Twitter. I do a little bit on Facebook, but not a lot. Definitely write blog posts on this. And so I try to have regular, thought leadership, reposting of articles, writing of my own blog posts, and then pushing those out as well. So if you think, so I'm not a one-trick pony. I've got a whole bunch of things that I'm interested in. And so my social media I set up in order to basically, check off one of those petals every single day. And it's a lot of work. I have a tracker now that I'm tracking, all of my different channels, whether it's YouTube or Medium, Instagram, Twitter. I'm not tracking on Facebook because I don't really care about those numbers, but being able to see, I started in July, I'm now doing it in August, just so the month over month change and see, where I'm maybe having increase in engagement and participation and attention on each of these channels. There are those people who say pick a channel, pick a lane, pick a channel, stick with it, and also use each of the channels for what it's intended. And that's hard, because Twitter I engage on certain things, LinkedIn certain things, Instagram certain things, Facebook certain things, and then I use Pinterest as kind of a repository for all of it. And then I can just link to Pinterest boards when I want to say, hey, look at this campaign that I did back in June for shifting economic power, and here are all sorts of resources for Black women-owned businesses. And I did that just the other day because somebody asked a question on Twitter about buying from a Black women-owned bookstore, and I was like, oh, hey, here's a board, or here's a pin specifically where I've listed a number of them, because that's what I'm doing, is trying to buy from Black women-owned bookstores and local bookstores, and I'm trying not to buy from Amazon right now. So every week I have 2 YouTube videos, which I try to hit, one of 7 topics in each of the videos. And I should probably do a blog post to outline what those are, and also to help remind me to make sure to hit those on a regular basis. But I want my YouTube viewers like you to know what to expect in a particular video from, Tuesday to Saturday to Tuesday to Saturday. I'm also working on a welcome video, and I am going to be framing some questions probably in Tuesday's conversation, because I need help crafting the messaging for brand new viewers to the YouTube channel. Like, what can they expect? What can they expect? And how can I best serve you, my viewer, or help the new viewer set up the expectations for what they can expect. So those videos come out every Tuesday and Saturday, and then I do pins on those, and then I push those out to Instagram and to Twitter, to LinkedIn, and to Facebook on multiple accounts, because I've got Piloting Your Life, I've got Terri Hansen Need, and I've also got my company, Solutions to Projects. I have another company, Class Bravo Ventures, which I do all my investing through, but I don't do much on social media with Class Bravo Ventures. Honestly, it's already overwhelming, and I can't keep track, speaking of keeping track, I use my Silk and Sonder, talk about this. I've repurposed the days of the week in order for me to keep track of all of the different channels, what I'm pushing out, if there's a specific hashtag associated with it, so that when I'm doing the pin or scheduling on Hootsuite, which is what I use for scheduling, that I can keep track of what I'm saying on each of those, because Twitter is super short, so I have to say something different. LinkedIn is my professional, so I try to make sure it ties into my professional stuff. Facebook, I can be a lot more casual on, but I actually have to schedule through Facebook. I can't schedule that through Hootsuite. And then Instagram, because it's visual, I try to have the tone of that be different as well. So when I'm scheduling all of this out, which is usually the day before something's going to release, I have to make sure I have different messaging, because some of you actually follow me on multiple channels. And I don't want you to see the same thing and go, ugh, and then scroll through it. You might see the same image, but I want the text on there to be different so that you get new value from each of those different posts. But I don't assume that everybody's on all of the different channels, and so it's a matter of making sure that it resonates with whoever I think that audience is for that particular channel. Speaking of which, I use Canva to create the graphics. Back in July, Adam did all of the graphics for Piloting Your Life that I then pushed out because we did the quotes. This month, I'm focusing on hashtag midlife self-care and doing alternating quotes from the book with what it is I'm doing, what I'm eating, what I'm reading, what I'm watching, what I'm paying attention to, what I do in terms of midlife self-care, trying to alternate those so that you get the pretty little checkerboard out on Instagram, and trying to really be very visual about that. So let's see, the weekly in-flight, I have a weekly newsletter, and if you'd like to be on that newsletter distribution list that I send out through MailChimp, just drop me a line and give me your email and I'll add you. Otherwise, you can follow me on Medium under Terri Hansen Mead, because I push them out to Medium as well. So people, if they don't want to get an email newsletter, they can then click over and go to Medium and watch it on Medium. So that comes out weekly. So I've got daily, I've got weekly, I've got periodic, like monthly, I do a crew chat conversation. And if you've read the book, I try to do new topics for conversations with your crew so you can develop deep and meaningful relationships, and at the same time, explore parts of midlife that will really help you design and live a life of your own creation. So those come out once a month. And then, as I said, sometimes I blog on other things if I get a bug up my butt, or I learn something and I want to consolidate the thoughts and synthesize them down and then be able to push those out. So it's a lot, and I probably spend at least an hour a day on creating social media, thought leadership, in order to, as I said, sell more books, get people on my mailing list. I'm looking over this, get people to watch the YouTube channel and subscribe, get people to read what I write on Medium, and then also be as a thought leader in the women's advocacy, investing in underestimated founders, expert witness on the IT technology side, the life sciences IT work that I do. Yeah, I know, Ray, you're tapping. It's like, so all of these different things, and I'll try to make sure to put in all of those different areas of the parts of the petals of my life in the description. So, wow, that was a lot in a very short period of time.
Not that short.
I know, but it was a lot. So, Ray, anything to add? I mean, I think you think I'm kind of crazy with all that I do.
I don't even have Instagram. I had it briefly and then I deleted it because I found no value in having social media.
Well, we had Cooking with Ray, so yeah. I'm hoping that you and I will get back to cooking and posting more stuff out there once Adam leaves. So I'm kind of hopeful about that. Oh, the one other thing is I do use Snapchat to communicate with Adam, and I ask him to send me his daily proof of life pictures that I tend to save. But I don't do any Snapchat or TikTok or any Well, TikTok is supposed to be a good marketing channel, assuming that, it continues, but it's
Your
just,
target audience is not going to be on TikTok.
you'd be surprised, because then you can cross promote on other platforms and just use TikTok as the medium to create something, but I'm just not there yet. So anyway, if you have any questions around social media, any of the platforms that I've talked about, if I've missed something that you want to know something more about, feel free to let me know. I can always write a Medium post about it and share it, or I can pick it back up in another YouTube video if this is something that is of interest. On Tuesday, we'll be back to some family matters, because I'm sure I'm going to want to talk about Adam's departure, moving him into the house, and what that experience was about. And in the meantime, I think that's it. So let go of perfection, take some risks, and above all else, have some fun. And one last thing is, if you think somebody else will benefit from this video and the content in this particular video, please share it with them. And if they love it, ask them to subscribe, because I really am trying to add about 50 new subscribers over the next month. And that's gonna, I can't do that alone. So I'd love your help in that. So anyway, thanks a lot. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk again on Tuesday.